Well, Rick said that you look slutty. And
That is not what he said before we started rolling. Rick said I look 80s punk rock. I think
80s
it's
punk rock. Well,
my red lips and my big old hair because it's all sweaty.
That's how I like her hair, though. I like your hair big.
My big Texas hair?
I love it. I love when it's all wavy and when you straighten it out, I don't like you. No like you. But I like it when you look most beautiful to me with the big hair. Welcome to the show. The show. We want to give it up to Aztec Chevrolet right out of the gate. They're amazing. We love them so much. Give them a chance, please. Aztec Chevrolet right here, down here. So, it's over here somewhere. Rick puts it. So you know what? Let's put it right in front of my face, right here. Aztec Chevrolet, Old Salt Coffee, pick Cherries. Give them a look. Download Pick Cherries, and then of course.
Oh, we got to upload our monthly subscription.
Yes,
Lori, we have to up our monthly subscription. Salt. We're going through our Old Salt coffee too fast.
It's too delicious. Trevino 10. Get your coffee delivered to the house. Stop going to the store. They deliver it to your house. One less thing to think about. And then yesterday was a rough day for the Trevinos. Renae and I had quite the argument, but I think we're back.
I don't know. Let's see how this podcast goes.
It's going good until you. I'm over here trying to make up, and you're like, I don't know. I'm still pissed off.
No, I'm not pissed off. You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
We have our ups and downs. I will say we've gotten better. Our fighting has gotten better. We're not
volatile fighters.
No. We used to be when we were younger, but I think we're doing a lot better with our fighting. But just
we're doing better with our fighting.
No, but man,
we train. We've trained,
and I don't know if it's just us, our friends, or what, but it's just so much going on. And I don't remember life as a kid being this busy like Garrett is.
Because you were the kid, you weren't the parent driving you around places.
No, but even Garrett, man, like, dude, today alone, I'm gonna go with him to coach jiu-jitsu at 4:30.
Right.
Then we're gonna get dressed in the car.
I'm packing him a lunchbox and his clothes.
And then we're going to baseball to have a scrimmage. Tomorrow school. Tomorrow football practice. Thursday school. Thursday I coach jiu-jitsu with him again, and then we have a scrimmage. It's just like
I think it's just the phase of life that we're in. With
know,
littles and their activities. I think it's this phase of life. I think this is why parents have like empty nest syndrome, because eventually, right? Like you get used to this schedule.
Being busy all the time.
The chaos just becomes normal. And then all of a sudden the children leave the house and you're like, what the fuck?
Well, now I know when people are like, oh, so-and-so can drive. Like, dude, drive yourself to school. Don't talk to me, right? Like you can help, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We are just, man, overwhelmingly busy.
And it's back to school. I think that's the other thing is like, God, it's such an adjustment. Poor Delilah, both Mondays, she's fallen asleep in the car on the way home from school.
Well, and then, yesterday was her first day to do dance, and she had been asking, and the girl, if music's on, she is dancing. So we're like, oh, well, maybe that's the activity for her, right? So we sign her. Well, first we take her into like audition, which is bullshit.
No, to audit a class.
But then they tell you, well, we'll let you know if we accept her. And I'm like, of course they're going to accept her. All these money-hungry motherfuckers. It's all about money.
It's a business,
It's
Steve.
a business.
It's a business.
So when you were like, I don't know if they'll take her. I'm like,
oh, because it went so horribly bad because she fell asleep on the way there. And
I'm
was
like,
a mess.
it's paying a babysitter a premium. That's all. That's what it is. So we took her yesterday, and poor little girl fell asleep in the car, and we gathered the troops, man. I mean, Garrett doesn't have anything Monday evenings, so we told Garrett, like, let's go support sister. Let's go be there for her.
We'll go watch dance. We'll go out for an early dinner afterwards.
Right, and Delilah was just not having it.
Could not get it together.
And
didn't even want to put on a leotard, like in a tutu. Was not having it.
Came out crying, Daddy, in her underwear.
Mm-hmm. I want goldfish.
I want goldfish. And I mean, I try to like encourage her, and that's the weird part about Delilah. Delilah is the kid that walks into a playground and does not look back.
Yeah.
Delilah's not the kid that's like, are you coming with me? are you going to hang out? You know,
Yeah.
Garrett was very like, I want to go on that slide, but are you coming?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's like, I'm going on that slide. I could give a fuck if you come or not. That's what I'm doing, right? So she's that kid. So it was really kind of out of character. I don't know if she was tired or what, but it was really out of character for her to be kind of attached to my hip.
Yeah.
Like she would not let my leg go,
Yeah.
which was very odd. So then, man, several times we're like, all right, well, this isn't going to work. Let's go. Several times, and Delilah's very vocal. She talks a lot.
She's very opinionated.
Well,
And
where does she get that
clear
from?
about her opinions.
Where does she get that from? I know somebody just like that. But Delilah does not mince words.
Yeah.
And we're like, do you want to do dance? Nope.
Yeah.
Gymnastics.
I know.
And I'm like, Delilah.
She said it several times.
And then even this morning, when I woke her up and we were dancing together, me and her, we had a little dance session.
Well, because you put on Encanto through the speakers in the house, and she's dancing like she's got her dress like it's a little folklorico dress.
And then I'm dancing with her, you know.
yeah.
And I asked her again. I'm like, you're so good at dance. Do you want to do dance? She's like, no, gymnastics. So then I go, well, what else do you want to do? And she was baseball, like Garrett. So, but I mean, this is the time that we start to figure out.
Yeah. Well, she's so little too. A lot of dance studios don't even take kids her age. So we ended up here because this was one that actually takes them that little. So I thought, well, maybe one of two things. I'm like, well, maybe we just wait till she's 3, right? And revisit it then. Or do I try and take her to another dance studio and see if maybe it's an energy and a change of place or something? I don't know. But we're going to let that one lie for a little bit. But she has said no.
And then dude, Garrett was like, when you're Garrett's about to be 8, Garrett vocalizes what we feel. Right? Garrett's in the back like, we came all this way? What a waste of time. And I'm like, Garrett,
He's
stop.
basically like, well, this went to shit without saying it went to shit.
You know, and that's what me and Renae are in the front seat, like, well, that went to shit, and what a waste of our time. And Garrett's back there, what a waste of our time. And I can't believe we went out there, and golly, what,
This is so annoying.
this is annoying. And I'm like, dude, I'm thinking all that shit right now, but I'm an adult. I can't say those things. And then, of course, I have to tell Garrett, like, Garrett, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Learn to deal with it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like,
She's
dude,
2.
I fucking feel you, bro. What
Yeah.
a waste of fucking time, right? So that was tough. So we will see how gymnastics goes.
Yeah.
You know, she can't say gymnastics, but she says gymnastics. So we will see how gymnastics goes. Okay, we're excited about it, but it's just God. There's
Oh, I forgot you said gymnastics. That made me think this morning. The cactus plant had been moved, and she calls it. How does she say it? She said cactus, and she jumbled all the syllables up, and it was so cute.
Well, and I do think back at, like, you know, my activities. I did have baseball practice. I did have. We had religion class almost year round.
Yeah.
When I was a little older, and then I also did football. Boy Scouts. I was in the Boy Scouts for a little while.
Yeah.
And then Dad had me in youth group. And then you do realize that, you know, because I grew up in a very small town, that Dad would just be like, you know, you have to be at religion, be there. So I would take my go-kart.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm 8, 9 years old. I would either walk to religion or take my go-kart.
Yeah, that doesn't happen for most people. I don't think that's.
But that's what was great about, is what I'm saying. That was what was great about back then in that small town.
Being in a little town like that.
Right? And then baseball practice was walking distance. So I would walk to baseball practice, you know, as I got older. So there was, you know, everything I did pretty much. Boy Scouts was at the church. Youth group was at the church. Religion class was at the church.
Yeah.
You know, so I knew how to get there. And a lot of us kids would meet up. Like I'd start walking, and then soon I'd see somebody else, and we'd walk together. And
Yeah.
you know,
Well, it's not. Ours is not like that. It is
right.
not like that.
I mean, but I think that is also part of the difference.
Yeah.
Right. Is that my dad was able to not have to be there and take me to the, you know, religion class. He was there to pick me up.
Yeah.
He was there, you know. So I don't know. I think times have changed. I mean, you know, even if you did have religion class or baseball practice 6 blocks away,
Yeah.
I think we now live in a world where you don't really trust this world to let your kid walk.
Yeah.
You know, to that. right?
Yeah.
I also think we live
Well,
in
me, I want to talk to that teacher before the class, and I want to talk to the teacher after the class, and
well, that's what I was
check
about to
in.
say too, is that we also live in a world of helicopter parents. You know,
Is that what I am?
well, yeah, I mean, it has gotten to the point where, back in the day, if I had Boy Scouts or whatever, my dad would drop me off sometimes, and then he'd go do whatever he needed to do.
Yeah.
Because he knew I was in good hands at Boy Scouts for an hour. Then he'd come back and pick me up.
Yeah.
Well, now the parents are like, I have to be there, and I have to watch,
I don't know. I just got to know what's going on, and I got to know that teacher, and I got to make sure I'm comfortable with that. And
But again, I think it comes with the times too of it's not like it used to be.
yeah.
It's and what's even crazier is nowadays, if something happens, they can call you on a cell phone instantly.
Yeah.
Back then, if something happened and you're out running an errand while your kid's at religion class or whatever, they can't call you.
Get a hold of you.
You don't remember they used to page you at the stores?
No.
Oh yeah, if you knew your mom was at HEB and you needed her, you would call HEB, and then HEB would be like in the loudspeaker, Joe, is there Joe Trevino here? You got a phone call?
Did you ever do that?
Well, we would, yeah, right? You remember that, Lori?
I didn't never do it, but I remember hearing it.
Yeah.
But even if you lost your mom at
well,
a
that
place.
because I was usually with my folks, my mom.
Well, you're always at Macy's. When you were at Macy's with your mom. Macy's. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Look, life seems to be going a million miles an hour right now. And you talk to some of our friends and they're feeling kind of the same thing of like, oh my gosh. And
I think it's a back to school madness and adjusting to the schedule. And it just feels like because of the schedule, you have to plan more. What days can I thinking ahead, what days can I physically cook with these kids' schedules? And what days does it have to be a crock pot meal or what's that air fryer thing meal,
Well, I don't know. And maybe I'm wrong here, but, I don't remember feeling like this before COVID.
Well, because we didn't have,
for whatever reason.
Garrett didn't have so many activities.
No.
Delilah wasn't even here yet.
I just feel like there is a residual of after COVID. I worked harder after COVID because I was like, oh crap, I got to catch up. I got to get back to work.
Yeah.
I'm not taking time off. And I think there's a residual of, there's going to be a few years to where we get back into
or is it
a
this
groove.
fear of now as a culture we realize something like a pandemic can happen and we might not work for 3 months?
I don't know. Rick, how do you feel? I mean, I think me and you have talked about it before. After COVID, I think me and you both worked harder than we've ever worked.
It feels that way for sure. I think that a lot of it is you kind of prioritize and Renae, to your point, kind of you almost are reminded that time is short. So you try and get it all in now.
Well, I mean, after COVID, it was like everybody had a Halloween party. Everybody had a birthday party. Everybody had a Christmas party.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody was like, well, I'm throwing a party. We're going to a party.
We can do that now. We're going to do it.
We're doing it,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's going to take some time for us to kind of settle back into the motion of the ocean, if you will, right? And kind of get back into I mean, even for us, next year, this is the first time after COVID that we're actually looking at our calendar and actually saying we want a vacation here. We want this week off. I mean, this is the first year after COVID that we're literally planning our year out. And before it was like, don't tell me we're taking off.
First year really in the course of your career. If we're being honest.
First 2 years after COVID. So we're only coming out right now, So it is definitely, I think next year hopefully will be kind of the year where we go, okay, right?
I don't know. I think it's kids. I think it's the kids and their schedule. And I just think that it is the phase of life that we're in. And I have sort of learned to, I even think of, mentally, I prepare myself for the year that way. Summer at our home. This year was a quieter summer because Dad was sick. But summer at our home is usually chaos because we've got everyone coming to visit and stay with us. And both the kids are in the house and we work from home. So trying to balance that, I think there are seasons, both seasons throughout the year and seasons throughout your life. And I think that's where we're at and we're going to embrace it and work with it.
I'm glad you brought up your dad because we have not given people an update, and right now is a absolute perfect time to give an update. We might be on the verge of a miracle, and we're really, really praying very hard that we're on the verge of a miracle. Gosh, it's been a year since all of this started.
Yeah.
And Daddy Raymond has just been, wow.
A trooper, right? He's never complained.
More than a trooper. I mean, he's such a classy, tough man. I mean, I have been so impressed with his outlook, the way he's handled things, and I've learned a lot from just watching him and his. I'm gonna keep going to work, and I'm gonna go to my therapies when I need it, and I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
So he just finished his CAR T cell treatment, and as a matter of fact, we will find out. Well, so before his CAR T treatment, they did do a PET scan, and they found very, very small traces of the cancer, very, very small. And they said that this CAR T cell treatment might give us a miracle.
It's new, it's modern medicine, and everybody's body is different, so you just don't know how it's going to respond, obviously.
But he was here this weekend, and man, Steve, turn on the PA. You got to hear me sing, Steve. Hey, Steve, I can sing.
Oh, he's
man.
very annoyed that you don't have the speakers set up correctly.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to go back there with you and show you how to set up the speakers correctly.
Yep. And he was in great spirits. Mama Mia seems to be coming around with her persona and the way she feels about things. And so we just to give you an update on Daddy Raymond, man, things are really, really looking up. I don't want to speak too soon because you never know. But things are really looking up for us, and nothing would make me happier than to find out that we have a miracle on our hands, And I do believe in God, and I do believe in prayer, and I think that Daddy Raymond, more than most, got more prayers than most.
Yeah, he got a lot of prayers. Thank you.
And that definitely could have made the difference. But the reason Mama Mia and Babe, Daddy Raymond, came is because Renae and I flew out together. Oh,
well, not together. You flew out, and then I kind of followed
caught
behind
up with me.
you.
Yeah. But very quickly, I just want to quantify something that I said before in the last episode. I made a statement that could be construed to be wrong.
Did we get some comments? I didn't read last.
No,
week's
I just
episode.
want to. I stayed up at night because I didn't say what I wanted to say. And after the conversation, me and Rick talked, and Rick brought it to my attention. I did not. I said there is no racism. That is not true.
Yeah.
Racism will always be in the world. Racism will never ever go away.
Yeah.
However, I think that more than racism, classism is a big part of the equation. So I just want to make sure that when I speak, that I'm not saying that no, there is no racism. It's just classism. No. Racism will always be there, right?
Yeah.
However, on that topic, if you know that racism will always be there, then you can spend your entire life focused on racism. You can spend your entire life saying it's racist, or you can have the attitude that I have, and I go, fuck you, I'm going to succeed no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether racism exists or not, I'm going to outwork, I'm going to outclass, and I'm going to be better. And if somebody wants to be prejudiced to me or to anybody else, I'm just going to keep moving forward because I can't change somebody's mind.
Yeah.
Going back to, there's nothing funnier and more entertaining to me when I see people from two sides of the aisle who don't even know each other get into an argument on Facebook. That is fucking hilarious to me. Like, do you think you are going to be the one that convinces this person otherwise?
To come to the
It
other
is
side.
a waste of your fucking time. And racism and acknowledging racism is a waste of your fucking time. Go to work, out fucking work, outclass, and be better and succeed, because most of the world, in my opinion, is not racist. And at the end of the day, it is about the only color that matters to most people is green. So if you go to a job and you make more money than the next person, they will bury their racism to make some money, right? So anyway, I just wanted to qualify that. But we did go to Charlotte, North Carolina. It was really eerie for me because I have been to that airport literally a million times. I connect in that airport all the time.
Yeah.
And I've never seen the baggage claim because I've never done Charlotte.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, we still didn't see the baggage claim this time because we checked luggage. I mean, we didn't check our luggage. At least I didn't.
I did.
Oh.
Sorry. Some people have to go to baggage claim. But it was just weird to like exit the airport.
Yeah.
You know, normally I'm like I'm connecting. So, but man, wonderful people. We sold out first show Friday and both shows on Saturday. And the crazy part, and I don't even think we told Lori about this.
Oh, no.
So we have a very good friend of ours who is a superstar guitarist. Superstar. He was the guitarist for Miranda Lambert for years. He has been on CMT. He has been on the Tonight shows, late night shows. He has been on Grammys. I mean, you name it, you know, with Miranda touring. Miranda fired him through an email during COVID. I'm just saying the facts. 15 years of service with her.
On his birthday. No,
On his birthday. On his birthday, she fired this man, not in person, not on a phone call, through her manager via email on his birthday. He was very, very sad. He ended up getting picked up by, and I knew he would get picked up immediately.
Oh,
I mean,
sure,
he's one of the best guitarists out there.
Yeah.
He ends up getting picked up by Parker McCullum, and he lives in our neighborhood, coincidentally. And I've known him for, 20 years probably.
Yeah.
Lives in our neighborhood. We see each other in passing because I'm in the yard.
We didn't even know we lived in the same neighborhood. We just.
Well, when we were looking at houses to buy in this neighborhood, you wanted the house that he bought.
Yes, I did.
Yep. So they moved into the house. He goes, yeah, we just moved into this house. I go, I know exactly which one it is. I go, do not fucking tell Renae which house you just bought, right? But anyway, we don't see him much in the neighborhood because he's touring, I'm touring. We're busy all the time. I mean, he will go by in his Corvette while I'm on my hands and knees pulling weeds and yell at me.
Oh, hush.
You know, call me Mexican. He's like, you Mexican, you know, because we have that kind of relationship and it's fun.
Because he's a racist.
Yeah, because of course, because he's a racist. You know, God forbid we joke about each other's ethnicities. Anyway, we get to Charlotte, and Renae gets there, you know, right on time to get to the show. We get there, we're ordering food, we're in the green room, but there was all kinds of shit going on next to us. And I mean,
The parking was a mess. People walking in, like, just, it was bustling. It was very busy.
I asked the waitress, I go, what's going on next door? She goes, oh, it's a venue. They're having a concert tonight. And I was like, oh, let me see if I know them. Because I know a lot of musicians. I know a lot of people. I go, oh, let me check. It's fucking Parker McCullum.
Alex was right next door.
So I text Weed and I'm like, hey, man, where you at right now? And he's like, oh, I'm in Charlotte. I go, well, I'm next door. And then his next thing was, in Charlotte? I go, yeah. He's like, dude, I'm on my way. So he showed up with the other guitarist, Will, and hung out at the show. And we got to hang out and have drinks. And then after my show, because they let me drink in the green room after my show, Whedon came back to hang out and have drinks with us. But it was just really cool. And what a coincidence that our neighbor who tours with Parker McCullum is at the same, literally sharing not in the same town.
No, we could hear the music through the walls.
Yeah, like he could walk to us.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Brian came.
Writer Brian.
The way I approach things is that I always hire people around me that I trust, that I respect their opinion. So if I hire anybody, and I trust their opinion, my thing is I always stay in my lane and I let them do their job. Yeah. So Brian had come up to me and said, I think we need to change the order completely of your act. Yeah. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be fucking hard, but okay, you know.
Your willingness to go through it is incredibly courageous.
But I want to get better. My goal in life, period, is to get better. Yeah. Every day, how can I get better? And if you stay in the same routine and you don't trust people around you, you will never get better.
But what you basically did was you changed the set on the spot in front of a sold out live audience to see how it would work. and you don't write anything down. So I was like, I wanted note cards to reorder the bits, and like I wanted like a piece of paper on the stool there by you so you could reference. Like the fact that you're just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try it and roll with it, and I don't know.
So the first show we did it, it really felt good. So what we're doing is we're ending. Those of you that have seen me live lately, we're ending now. To Brian's suggestion, and by the way, Brian's attitude is like, I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah.
But my point to the conversation we're having right now is, you will never know if it works if you don't try it.
Yeah.
So I'm always willing to try it, because in the past, there are times that Brian says, hey, here's a good joke. And I'm like, he's an idiot. Like that joke sucks. And then I do it and it works, because I'm willing to trust him and to try and to learn from other people. So, the first show, it went off great audience, great show, the whole thing. And then the second show I did it and it just didn't work. So I'm actually going to try it a couple more times, just to make sure. I mean, in my opinion, at this point, I don't think it works.
I am so confused. And when I like really think about it, my stomach is in knots for you, because we're talking about changing it. And I just want the detail-oriented person in me just wants the set to be set so that we can go in and fine-tune. And so the fact that we're like still exploring the order of things makes me quite anxious.
I mean, when I am on my toes and I'm not an autopilot, I tend to write. I come up with lines. So again, even though this might not work, man, I wrote some great stuff.
You find little nuggets.
I find little nuggets in there that I wrote, because I'm on my toes and I'm trying to make it work, and I'm trying to, I'm segueing in a different way. I'm trying to, so at the end of the day, and this is a lesson for everybody, is that if you listen to somebody else and you try it, even if it doesn't work, there's still going to be some positive things that come out of it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm very happy about the positive things that have come out of it. I'm going to continue to try. It wasn't easy. It was very hard. And that, that makes me think of our partner and producer, Rick. Rick, how many times when you're directing or doing a show, the way you have it in your head, then you lay it out in the edit room and you go, oh shit, maybe it'll work better like this? Or do you not even do that?
100%. So they always say that you write 3 times. You write the script, you write it while you're shooting, and then you rewrite the whole thing while you're editing.
Oh, I've never heard that. Yeah, that's really interesting. And there are times that you've had to take out or move big chunks?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like, God, it's a daily. And especially when you're dealing with time. Like a lot of our TV shows, we're only allotted a certain amount of time, and you overshoot everything. So massive chunks come out.
Yeah, no, it was tough, and Brian brought me that note. And then Renae was like, yeah, you should do it. I'm like,
well, no, Brian had to convince me at first. Like, I wasn't sold on it. And then he got me on board. And then you were willing to try it. And it went great the first time. And then it tanked the second time. And you came off stage so unhappy. And I was like, well, shit, now I don't know. Like,
well, that's why we have to do it a couple more times.
Yeah.
I have to do it a couple more times to really see if it works. And second shows Saturdays are, well, let's start with Friday, chronological order. Second shows Friday are always garbage.
Yeah.
Because people are exhausted.
After a full work week.
They've woke up in the morning, they've taken their kids to school, they've worked all day, they rushed home to meet the babysitter. Yeah. They're yelling at their wife going, we gotta go, we're gonna be late. The wife's like, stop yelling at me, I'm better than you. So there's all of that. Then getting to the end, finding parking and going out at night. And then, the people are tired, right? So that's part of the reason Friday second shows have always been tough shows, because people are just tired, Saturday second show is difficult for a different reason, because they've been drinking all night.
Yeah, they already started their evening early because it was Saturday. They went to dinner at 5, 6 o'clock.
We got the late show. We'll hit dinner at 7. We'll have some drinks. We'll get going. Let's party. They get in the room. They're already giggly. They're kind of,
rowdy.
They're already buzzed up. They're
Yeah.
rowdy. They're having a good time. They're not paying attention as much, right? So that's what makes the Saturday show so difficult. But I have always said that I always write my act to where I can kill in any situation,
Yeah.
right? Whether there's 10 people, 5,000, 10,000, a tired crowd, drunk crowd. Like
Yeah.
I want to be able to kill that audience,
Grab 'em
with,
no matter
with
what.
my act, no matter what. So that's the big question, right? Was I able to get that first crowd because they were a good crowd, they were excited, it was early, they
Yeah.
weren't drunk, right?
Yeah.
And then second crowd, the fact that I didn't get them makes me go, is it as strong,
Right.
right? So
Well, the argument, Brian sold me on is we're looking at the pacing of the show overall, right? The whole hour. And in each of your bits as its own little chunk. And obviously some jokes are stronger than others and get a bigger reaction than others. And so how do you want the big bang at the end? Do you want the big bang about halfway in to really keep them going?
But to interject,
through the end?
the other question with my act is, where do I want those heartfelt moments?
Yeah.
Right? For example, the truck story to me is a very special story. And the story about me and you meeting and being complete opposites, yet
Yeah.
we make our marriage work, is also a very beautiful story. So it's like, do I want this beautiful story in the middle and this beautiful story at the end? Or do I want this beautiful story in the middle and this beautiful
Right.
story at the end, right? So for me, there's also a ride on emotions
What story do we want to tell?
as well, right?
Yeah.
As I'm saying it out loud, Rick knows the act. What are your thoughts?
Well, on the how it flows and everything.
So now we're moving. Brian has asked me to move the story about me and Renae meeting to the end and close with it, and move the truck story in front of that.
Yeah, I mean, the truck story I think is probably your best bit that I've ever seen. Just because I relate to it, well, other than Sundays, damn you. But I relate to that. But I think I'd have to see it. It sounds like I'm one of these people like you. It's like, let's try anything because you never know until you see it. So, I mean, it sounds interesting.
Well, and the thought was that you're watching Steve for 45 minutes and you love him and everything he said and all of these stories. So by the time you get to our love story, even if it's not relatable to you, you're so invested in these people and these characters that you still care about the story.
I agree with all that. You guys and Steve, because we do this all the time with shows, you don't want everything pedal to the metal. Do you go for up and down, laugh, big laugh, low laugh, big laugh?
No, absolutely. I go, number one, my priority is I am a comedian. My job is to make you laugh. That is first and foremost job. My second job is I need to make you think. My third job as a comedian is, can I touch your soul? So all three of those things in that order get mixed in through the set, right? And I think that, in my opinion, that's what makes my stand-up special, because I don't think comedians use all of those things. Most comedians, right? I think that there's a lot of comedians that go, I don't give a fuck what I say, I want it to be funny. Right? I don't care if I touch somebody's soul. I don't care if I make them think. I just want it to be funny. Then there's other comedians that go, my goals are different than Steve's. I want them to laugh at something fucking raunchy. Like, my goal is, can I take up a terrible, terrible topic that you really shouldn't talk about, and can I make them laugh? Right? And my formula is, can I make them laugh while thinking, while relating to them, while touching their soul? And then I have to take all of
And then
that.
everyone thinks you're just telling a story.
Yes. And everybody thinks I'm just talking shit about my wife. Yeah. For me, yeah, Rick, I try to take people on this ride of up and down, but to me, that's how I live my life. My life is I want to laugh, but I also want to think and get better. I have moments and purpose and moments of reflection. I have moments of questioning myself. Am I raising my kids right? Am I doing the right things? Am I the best man I can be? So I want my show to reflect my real life. And I think that's important.
Yeah. I think Simple Man is a real reflection of that. This special. It is a mix of all of those things.
I mean, and I in my own life, I deal with all the things I'm talking about on stage.
Yeah.
I deal with a very, very spoiled, perfect wife. I deal with look at Lori just nodding, like going like this. She's going like this.
No, but yes.
No, but how can I be the best husband I can be? I also want to provide and have my career. I also want to be the best dad I can be. I mean, there's so many emotions that go on in life. I also want to be there for my parents who are not going to be in on this earth, forever. I mean, there's just so many things that as you get older, and somebody came up to me and said, dude, your reflection of what life is like for a middle-aged man raising a family is perfect. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give the world a reflection of what I go through at this stage of my life.
Yeah.
Right. So, does it work? A lot of times it does. That's why we have the people that continue to love us and follow us.
That connect.
But then you have people that go, fuck this guy. What is he doing? And this is dumb. And he's
different strokes for different folks.
Right. And all he talks about is his wife and his family. And does he have any other topics? And I'm like, well, no. I mean, that's all I have in my life is my wife and my family.
Yeah.
So different strokes for different folks, like you said. But what I try to do is to take people on this ride of my emotions and my feelings and the things I find funny and the things that frustrate me and the things I'm going through. Right.
Yeah.
So it was a great weekend in Charlotte. I definitely think I'll come back because it was a great response from everybody, and it was.
We didn't get to see much of Charlotte, but the comedy club.
I loved it. Renae slept in.
I feel like I went to a city and I didn't get to experience it, but there just wasn't time for that.
Renae did not have activities. Thank God. I was like...
I would like to point out that when not traveling with kids, I was able to pack in like less than 20 minutes probably. I packed that morning before I got on the plane in a teeny tiny suitcase. And I was not late for anything. I was ready before you were, as a matter of fact, to walk out the doors to your shows. When there's not two kids, it gets way easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just wanted to cuddle with my wife in the mornings and for me and you to have kind of we don't have to get up and go in different directions.
Yeah.
So we definitely relaxed and cuddled together in the room, had a nice lunch with Brian. And then we just were lazy. We went to Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it? Oppenheimer?
Uh-huh.
I had already seen it. And then Renee was like, well, you've already seen it. I go, dude, there's so much information in that thing.
But it's such a long, intense movie. I can't believe you were willing to watch it a second time.
Because you got to go back and pick up all the things you missed.
Ooh, but I don't know if I have the mental energy
it
to
is,
do
it
that
is,
a second time.
It is one of the best movies I have seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
Very long time. I mean, I like movies about people.
Mm-hmm.
I also like movies about real people.
Yeah.
I'm also a history fanatic. I also love period pieces. Mm-hmm. So it was
all your favorite elements.
Yeah, all the things I like. I like information. I like to learn things. I like to go, oh, I had no idea that was going on.
Yeah.
A friend of mine that was in Charlotte, I told him I watched the movie, and he goes, man, it was so eye-opening for me. He goes, I grew up in Tennessee, and we used to walk around and say the bomb was built here. And he goes, I didn't realize that the bomb was not built there. The uranium that they mind
Yes.
came from Tennessee and got sent to Los Alamitos or whatever it was called.
Los
Alamos in New Mexico. So, even he was like, man, like there's just so much, information. And also like.
You and I were talking about that. We read the book Hiroshima in school as kids, but like in school, it was not a big part of history studies.
It was for me. I don't know how
Yeah?
you missed that, but it was for me. And again, I think very, very deeply. And I also think I like to think about how somebody else feels.
Yeah.
Right. And it just watching these guys go, the dilemma that they were having of, do I want to build this bomb?
Yeah.
But then, well, if you don't, somebody else will.
Yeah.
Right. And they don't have a problem using it on us. So in order to stop this war, we're going to lose lives, but how many lives are we going to save? So just watching these guys go through that. Have you seen it, Rick?
No, not yet. I went and saw Barbie instead.
Oh,
I have not seen Barbie, but I can see this movie is so intense. I can see why people, and it's so freaking hot, especially here in Texas, just go spend 5 hours in a movie theater and watch Oppenheimer and then Barbie right after, because
Yeah,
in
you
that
need a-
order.
you need a mental
don't
break,
watch
yeah.
Barbie first, I don't think, and then go watch Oppenheimer. But I haven't seen Barbie.
yeah, we need to go see Barbie. But I truly, truly enjoyed that movie. And I again, that dilemma.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give a spoiler, but and who knows if it was movie or for real, but Einstein's part in the movie, where he was like, dude, I figured this out.
You're gonna spoil it?
No, but everybody knows, but
Everybody knows what?
that he figured out the equation to split an atom.
Oh, Einstein.
Everybody knows
yeah,
that.
Yeah, okay.
But for him to go, I don't want anything to do with it anymore.
Yeah.
Because the weight that you have to carry
Yeah.
is too heavy. Like you go to Oppenheimer and you go, you killed 200,000 people. Well, I didn't kill them. Somebody else dropped the bomb. There is no bomb without you.
Yeah.
Without you, there is no this bomb.
Yeah.
Yes, we have bombs. Yes, we could have killed 20, 30, 40, 50,000
and
people.
to live with those images,
Right.
It's
It's insane, man. It's such an intense movie. Definitely worth watching, and I will tell you to go watch it at the theater.
Yeah.
Because it is, and this might blow your mind, but in my opinion, the weakest actors on screen were Matt Damon and Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Well, Robert was.
I'm a huge Robert Downey Jr.
Robert,
fan.
Robert,
I love him.
Robert
Iron
Downey
Man's my
Jr.
favorite
was
superhero.
He was great.
Yeah.
So if I were to put them in order, worst to best, Matt was the worst. And I love Matt. And I'm not talking bad about Matt.
Yeah.
Matt's a great actor. I just don't know if this part was for him.
Yeah.
Because he's a freaking amazing actor. I mean, I love Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Big fan of Matt Damon. And he did not write Good Will Hunting. With that being said, big shout out to our sponsors again. And don't forget Rowell Western Wear. That's ROWEL, westernwear.com. We will ship you a Steve Trevino shirt. We're very, very proud of them. New colors are coming out. The Guayabera is a huge hit. Pick
Even
Cherries.
the little boy ones,
The little boy ones
are
kill,
so cute.
dude. And then Pick Cherries, please download the app. Old Salt Coffee, please, please, please. Trevino 10, get that going on. And then, of course, our friends at Aztec Chevrolet. So, with that being said, we absolutely love you guys. And the Trevinos are good. We're good.
No fighting this episode.
I wanted to. I was.
You didn't pick on purpose?
I didn't pick on purpose. So I would like to ask the fans, the family out there, to do us a little favor. So, in order to get the word out on our podcast, we would like to ask you to pick the funniest moments or the most intriguing moments or the best moments of our podcast. Pick that cherry, send it to us, because we want to start sharing clips on TikTok and Instagram of our podcast to make people more aware. But a lot of times, because we're in it, we don't know which clips have resonated with you. We don't know which clips you thought were great.
Yeah.
So
we don't get the
please-
live audience feedback like you do from your stand-up show.
Right. So we love you guys. Thank you so much. And remember to keep working hard, to never quit, and hug your baby.